3 player.
Hello. Welcome to Actors Anonymous podcast. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat.
So serious.
Was it too serious?
Yeah. I was like, this
Let's
is
try it
inside
again.
the actor's studio.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome to Actors Anonymous podcast. I'm your host, the Cheese Ball. Co-hosting with me is Jordan Burbank.
This was a mistake. I regret this immediately.
Oh, our guest today is Miss Haley Webb. You might recognize her from The Final Destination 4, Teen Wolf, Sugar Mountain, Backstrom, The Librarians, and many, many more. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I like that name, The Final Destination.
The Final Destination. I think they dropped it afterward. I don't know. Well, it was supposed to be The Final, but then we made a lot of money, so.
Right.
Kept going.
It's no big
How many
deal.
are there?
5.
All right.
Actually, a friend of mine is in the 5th one, and ours was so bad that nobody went to go see the 5th one. So I kind of tanked her movie with my movie. It's fine. It's science.
Hey, it's healthy competition. It's
Yeah,
science.
exactly. We're still friends, so, it's
Science.
fine.
I love your dress. That is so adorable.
Thank you.
The suit.
I got it in
suit dress.
For our listeners, Haley is wearing a navy blue? Or
Sure.
light navy blue?
It's black.
Oh, is it one of those dresses? Is it
Pinstripe.
golden?
Oh my God. Gonna go viral.
Yeah, I think it's like a navy blue or like a light gray.
Right.
Like
Or-
a light
and-
gray with like pinstripes. It's
Or,
like a Tim Burton dress.
Check out the video broadcast.
Or
'cause
just
we do
go
that.
online.
Oh, yeah.
Quit living in the past.
That's true, Jordan.
You're probably looking at a photo of us right now. Let's be honest.
What
We're
about
that
the-
vain.
Gross, you're weird.
Haley, how long have you been in LA?
15 years.
Goodness gracious.
And I'm only 12. Do the math.
Do the math. That's
the math. I'm still a zygote. It's fine.
Where are you from originally?
Virginia.
Nice.
Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia. The mountains?
Yeah. No, a little further east, closer to D.C., about 20 minutes south of D.C.
Or did you do acting?
What brings you out here?
The weather. I like palm trees. Yeah, no, I moved when I was 15. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's fairly young.
Yeah, it was halfway through my freshman year of high school, so that was a culture shock.
I came out here after my freshman year of high school for a month and a half for pilot season. Little did I know pilot season is over in the summertime.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody told you?
No. And Joe
Yeah.
at ABA was
Yeah.
there and everything. And so luckily there were still auditions going on. and
Okay.
I got pretty close. I know I've mentioned this on air before, but I got close and
Okay.
then nothing happened and then moved back to Oklahoma.
Oh my God.
But I remember Robert Amatruda of Amatruda Benson and
That is
Associates,
a fantastic name.
right? He said to me, "So how long are you like I remember coming to his office like, "Hey, it's summertime, it's a little late. So how long are you going to stay? You staying for like 6 months? You staying for the year?" And he's like, "Oh no, we're staying for like a month and a half." Oh my God. Is that okay? That's all we can afford.
Oh my God.
And he's like, "Okay, let's get started."
Just go. Get out of here.
Such an experience.
That's
man.
it's intense. So then, how was your first pilot season? Was that like
I
when
mean,
it
I got
actually
close.
happened?
I
Okay.
mean, I got close to one, but being out here during that time where there wasn't all the digital stuff like the internet,
Yeah.
like I went and got headshots on film, and they had to choose which ones.
Were they black and white?
Oh yeah, they were
Yes!
black. The proofs.
I had black and white. Yes.
I went to
I love
not
it.
residuals. It's
Oh,
the place-
reproductions.
Reproductions.
Which is just down the street.
Yeah, and I paid like a small loan to print them off.
Yep.
A small house loan.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that a bar?
Reproductions.
Residuals.
Residuals?
is a bar.
oh yeah, it is a
Yeah.
bar.
Is it?
Actually, it's a bar in LA that
So
you
LA.
used to be able to go there and you take your residual check and you hand it to the bartender because
they're
you
all like
could
3
transfer
cents.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
you could actually just hand it over and they give you a drink.
No matter how much it is.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I think
I
it's
got a
like
lot of 2
yeah,
cents
right.
lying around.
Here's a whole
Just
stack.
for, yeah, just to
Bring
remind
me a pitcher.
myself. Yeah, it's the stick that keeps me going, not the carrot.
I deposit those still.
So do I actually. Well, now with like banking online, it makes it so much easier.
Right.
Penny stocks.
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking about penny stocks. That's weird.
But we had a Thomas guide, and I was just remembering how difficult things were.
Yeah. Seriously, they were
get-
like books. I had one too.
It was
yeah.
a fucking ridiculous invention. Like now thinking back on it, do you know what a Thomas guide is, Nikki?
But they were so essential. They
So-
were so like in depth.
For our listeners and viewers, a Thomas Guide basically is a map of Los Angeles, which
We've
is
had a
broken.
debate about this before.
Yeah.
I was snoring. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I was
Yeah.
like, we don't need to know that.
Sounds cool.
It's
Anyway.
a map.
It's a map broken up into like 500 pages.
No, it's
and then
true.
you're like driving as like I'm the
Like an
guide
atlas?
for my dad.
Just
MapQuest?
MapQuest.
MapQuest.
Hey,
MapQuest,
back
though,
in the
that was a
day,
game changer.
MapQuest was engine north when you got to go south. That was an awful website. I
Oh,
hated
man.
it.
Oh, damn.
Just for you.
Yeah. No, actually, I can't read.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. First thing I thought when I saw you, I was like, you know what?
He's illiterate.
Yeah. What does this say, Jordan?
I'm really busy. I have to go fix the lighting over
He
here.
goes in the corner.
Cut to
and I'm just
commercial.
like, yes. My plan all along. That's why I'm here.
So you've been out here for 15 years. You've
Yeah.
got to have had some like crazy ups and downs.
Oh, yes.
Because 15 years is a pretty substantial time in this industry, especially
Yes.
in LA, to have experienced the transition
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
of everything going online and different agencies, different reps, bad auditions, which I want to hear a little bit about. Okay, I'm going to just start off with saying, what's
Okay.
the lowest of the low that you feel comfortable talking about in your career or like?
Oh, I'm cool for whatever.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just I was thinking about that on the way here. I was like, oh, you know what? I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Well, just be, we just
Except
like
my
being
social
real.
security.
We just want to be real
Home
about it, you know what I mean?
address.
Just-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just take out my earrings.
Home address.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was like
Yeah.
the bottom of a barrel for you out here?
Oh man. Well, it is funny because there are so many ups and downs, and I forgot who. I think it was Bryan Cranston. I saw an interview with him recently, and he was like, you know, I don't really go up and down. I'm pretty even keeled. And I was like, what's that like? Because I am very up and down.
Yeah.
You know, there are like long periods of time where you don't work, or you don't book anything, and that's always hard because like you don't know, and it's hard to keep getting yourself up for auditions. I actually have saved every audition I've ever gone on since I started, and I've been on over 3,000 auditions.
Oh my gosh.
So like again, do the math.
I feel like we
that's
should clap
crazy.
for that for some reason. I don't know why.
Guys,
I'm crying.
still here.
A tear. A tear
You
is
save
drifting
them on
from
your
my eye.
like your mailbox then.
Yes. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. But no, I had a really bad audition the other day that was with a casting director whom I love, who I've gone in for a million times. We've known each other for like 7 or 8 years. Again, been doing this a while. You would think like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm cool. I got into the room and I got so nervous that I just completely fucked it. Like I had 2 scenes. The first one, I was talking so high in my voice because I was so nervous, like I couldn't speak.
Oh my
And I was like, oh my God. And he goes, good. And I was like, no, it wasn't. You know that it wasn't good. And then the producer was also in the room, and I caught his face, and I was like, he is not happy. And then I did my second scene, fucked up my second line, and I just had to go, can we start again? Yeah, great, okay. And I did, and I walked out and I just cried. And I got home and I just bawled. I was like, you know what? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like everything is stacked. Everything is stacked for me. So, I mean, that's a very recent time where I was like, fuck, why? What am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then I always, you know, whatever it is that drives you, whatever it is that drives me, I always make it back to that. But it's hard. It's really hard. There are definitely moments of like either bad auditions or not working for a while, or I've had, you know, I did one feature film where they brought my acting coach, like my acting teacher. I did a 2-year program. They brought him to set, like my second day. And I was like, why are you here? He's like, apparently they want me to help you. And I was like, why not just fire me and get somebody that you like? If you think I can't act, then like, what the fuck? So there's been a lot. There've been a lot of.
Wait, I'm curious now.
I just told you like
Excuse
my
me.
whole life. 30 seconds. You're welcome. Goodbye. I cry on the way out.
You just find you a half hour later in your car.
Exactly.
It's
Just
she's
like,
still here.
I'm fine. Hey, Mom. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, is Haley all right?
No, I'm sorry. You were saying.
No, I was just so they brought in a acting coach without letting you know.
My acting coach, yeah.
They brought in your own acting coach.
Who, yeah.
that will play mind games on anybody. Are you
Totally.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, who hired you? I want to know their name so I can ask them, why didn't you just tell me? Because this is weird.
Yeah. The whole shoot, honestly, like, and I'm not gonna like name names or whatever, but I was, and this kind of happens to me a lot, where I'm kind of like the only female. I'll be like the female like lead. That also sounds like such an asshole. Basically, the story is like on my shoulder, and it's really hard. No, but like typically I'll be like the one female with like a cast of men. And in this particular shoot, the director very much targeted me and tried to do sort of like a Kubrick Shining type thing, where like if he just like fucked with me in real life, then it would translate. But it didn't. It just made me not want to give him any kind of performance. And I was like, I actually know what I'm doing, and you're getting in the way.
So wait, he sent your acting coach to. You think he sent him to fuck with you about?
Oh, 100%. And my acting coach was like, "Oh, I don't know why I'm here. I have nothing to say to you." My acting coach actually cast me in his movie. He actually moved like mountains to get me a part in his movie. So it was really strange. Like I haven't come across a lot of directors like that, but that was one that was a huge lesson for me. So yeah, it was kind of the whole shoot was very. The director tried to play mind games with me the whole time, to the point where he like commended me after the shoot and said, "By the way, like, I just want to say you're so strong." And I was like, get the fuck out of my face.
Disgusting. That is
Guys?
my like. I just like I can't even stomach something like that, because I'm like, why? Like, there's one thing for like getting someone to a level of like, as a director, trying to get like help someone get to the level that you want for your the performance you want, versus the performance that they're doing. And then I feel like I've worked with like the worst person I've ever worked with. I wish. Yeah,
We worked together.
This guy who's a director on this film, that it was like his glory film, and he had said like, you have to instill fear in your actors. They have to fear you. And I'm like, that. No,
You're an abusive dad.
Just
like, get
no.
the fuck out of
yeah.
here.
And telling
there are,
me
like, stories made about you. Yeah.
And I came in after production, and he was like, you need to call these people and get them to this thing for this voiceover. I'm like, the film was so bad they had to like voice over every single person like throughout the entire movie.
Tommy Wiseau shit. Yeah.
So I was like literally doing that, and I was just like, he's like, make sure everyone's there. I don't care what you have to say. And I'm like, I'm literally like an associate producer. I'm not like what do you want me?
Work here.
I got every single one of those people in there with like that nicest personality, being happy, upbeat, trying to accommodate schedules.
Yeah.
And like I literally had one of the actors be like crying to me because she couldn't make it, and then she wound up being like, I'm so sorry. He's just a jerk. I never wanted to do the film at all in the first place, and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't want to be here either.
Yeah, you
It's
guys
just
like, crying into each other's mouths. Like,
It's like, let's get coffee.
But like, you really do get more flies with honey. And when you trust people, like you hire people to do a job, not to be cocky, but I knew what I was doing. Like, and to trust your director, like the fact that he was so manipulative and I could see through it, it just like froze me up. And then I had to go through the whole thing of like, well, it's my face on camera. None of the audience knows that this is what's happening. So I just have to fucking step up and do it.
I feel like the intention is to make like a frigid film, like a film that like has this glass of like aggression in front of it.
Yeah,
almost.
it's gonna eke out. It's gonna seep. Like, you can't hide that shit.
Sorry.
No, it just makes me so uncomfortable, like thinking about that in your shoes, you know, as another actor. Just like the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're making me not want to come to set.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You know, not, and I've, should I say that? Yeah, I've worked on a project. I've worked on a project like that before, where it was the first time ever I didn't want to act. Like, because of the atmosphere. And I was like,
it's crazy when that happens.
Shit, man. Like, this is a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
This is real. This is what happens in this industry. Like, it was such a, like...
Yeah.
And then you just,
Didn't seem crazy when I met you.
Yeah.
But then you
Why am I bleeding? What's happening?
But then you work on, like, other sets, and... like, the procedurals. And I know sometimes procedurals get a bad rap for being, like, hokey or whatever like that. But...
Yeah, it's a tried and true thing.
SVU. Gotta love every single episode.
Every single. That's
Every
a lot of
single,
episodes.
It's weird to choose
mad
one off
respect,
Netflix. You're like, which SVU unit
Yeah.
will I like?
That one.
You know, you could just like spin a wheel or whatever, push a button, and automatically whatever comes up, you're gonna be sucked into that shit.
Oh,
You
totally,
are.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you call them most of the time? Who did it? Like who done it?
Do I call like the production offices?
Yes.
What are you gonna do next, guys?
Fantastic job.
Look, I have some stories,
Some real life stories.
sex crime stories. I just want to go over with these with you.
What's your most? I mean, you mentioned that audition, which is you look back on it and you're like, it's like a little cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Yes, totally.
Please.
It's do you remember that movie Fame? They made it in the 70s and then they redid it.
Yeah.
So I was a dancer, and I did ballet, but I was never a ballerina. But they wanted me to audition for the ballerina part, and I was like, fuck, they're gonna get some, kid who's like 17 who's actually a ballerina, like, whatever. So I learned to dance. I was like, I'm still gonna do this. Like, it'll be great. So I learned a dance. I got like a choreographer. Like, learned a whole thing, really committed, worked for like 2 weeks beforehand, got to the audition.
Wow.
Before I walked in, I was so nervous, and I was like, oh no. Because everything kept flooding back. I was like, they're going to hire some fucking 16-year-old chick who's an actual ballerina and whatever. And I really thought of leaving. I was like, I think I should just go. Like, I don't want to do this. I should just like scratch my name off the list. And I was like, no. You're going to do this. You worked really hard. No matter what happens, no matter who they cast, you're going to go in there and do your job and have a great time.
Oh, no.
So excited.
So I walk in, and it's a huge like dance studio, like hardwood floor, the whole thing. And all of the producers are there, and the director and the casting director. So it's like, I don't know, 6 to 7 people. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was not expecting that. So they were all sitting like, it was like a dance audition. They were like against the mirror, and then the whole room was mine. And I was like, oh, my God. So I had no music. Like, they didn't let you like play music. You could just kind of like do it by yourself. About 3 or 4 steps in, I completely forgot my entire dance. And so I was like, fuck it. So I just did whatever the hell I wanted for like 2 8 counts, and then literally was just like, and I looked down at them, and they're all trying so hard not to laugh. So I just start laughing, and then I curtsy and I go, thank you. And then they were like, thank you for coming in. But you know what? I felt like I conquered it. Like, it was terrible, but also it made me face a fear. And my greatest fear was to just completely fall on my ass, and I did. So in the end,
Isn't that weird?
it was so traumatizing.
How that works? Like you're very scared about something, and then when it happens, and you fall on your ass, and afterwards
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I did it. That happened.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck was the hubbub?
Yeah. I think you walk away from that, like, I think you can walk away with that with pride because you have an awesome story to tell people.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I think it's also like one of those things where you never know if one of those people are going to produce a comedy and they're like, oh my God, I remember you. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You were like nailed that thing. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I think it's like, it's what makes Will Ferrell so good. Like, when something's going shitty, like, he just goes deeper
He, like,
into
commits
it. He
to
doesn't
it.
shy away.
Yeah.
He'll, like, make it even worse. And you're like, this is hilarious.
I remember one time I got the wrong sides, so I start the scene, and she doesn't, what I think, she doesn't complete her line, right? So I'm like looking at her, I'm like, lady, you gonna do this or what? I'm giving her that look,
Yeah.
and finally she's like, you don't have the right sides, do you? And I'm like,
Who's
like I went from here to like,
oh my God, my bad, I'm so sorry.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, I guess I don't have the right side. Which side? Cool, I'll take a look at it. All right, bye. Instead of just going, oh no, they didn't. This is not sides I got.
Right. There's so much attached. There's so much attached.
This
So much attached.
This is, and then, oh my gosh, I don't know. This just popped into my head. I was in for a really exciting role. You know when you go in for a role that you really love,
Yes.
and it's the worst when it doesn't go as planned in the room. And so and it's worse whenever you show up in costume. I was wearing a onesie, and then so.
Was it required?
You
or
could
you
really just end the
decided
story there. 'Cause it's already fantastic.
No, so it was for a Nickelodeon show, and it was this like retired superhero, And so he's trying to like bring up his protege, and so he's supposed to look somewhat young, the superhero. So I was like, you know what? The guy's a crazy character. I'm showing up in a onesie. I did that for my self-tape, went in for the pre-read, and I was like, I'm wearing the onesie the whole time. It's fine. I got this. The casting director, she's such a sweetheart, but I wish I would have said something in the room. She was mouthing my lines. She was reading with me, but then she would mouth my lines afterwards.
That's kind of amazing.
She's
dedicated.
It threw me off.
Of course.
So much, because then I'm like, why is she... What?
I don't, how do you know what... Oh, my God. Yeah, the fourth wall is broken.
I'm like, should I say something? And then like halfway through, I'm like, shouldn't that...
Oh,
Can we do like a casting session, like behind the scenes cameras, where it's like a hidden camera, like we can just literally just sit there and just do things, just like have people come in and just be like.
I've actually been a reader before. Yeah, like a casting director friend of mine. I was like, if you ever need someone to read on the other side, I would love to see what my side is like.
Ooh. And
he was like, yeah, we're actually casting this feature, and the lead character is this 13-year-old boy. And I was like, oh my God, so much fear is about to happen. And I was reading both, like...
Sorry! So much fear.
So much fear is about to happen.
I can taste 13-year-old
That's going to be like, yeah, totally. Like a tagline for my next film. So I had to read, like, his mom and then, like, his uncle. So I was like, like a grown woman and then, like, a grown man. And it was really fascinating to see all of the different people come in and like what they brought with them, who brought sides, who didn't, who brought like paper, who brought iPads, who, was really afraid, like who wasn't, and how much that affected the performance. Like this person might be like a decent actor, maybe not as good as the next guy, but the next guy is so nervous that it just hampers whatever talent could shine through. So it was really a very fascinating experience, and one actually I would recommend to any actor. Like if you can, absolutely do it.
It
teaches you a lot.
I've held casting sessions before for like projects I've done.
Yeah.
The last one I did, I would rather have a nervous, amateur, overacting actor in the room
than like a chill.
Than someone who came unprepared.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that pissed us off and disappointed us. Because there was this one actor in particular, we saw his reel, and just fucking stunning performance. Just gave us all goosebumps. We're like, ooh, we're excited for him to come in.
Yeah.
Came in, we felt like he didn't even read the line, like the script or like the sides.
Oh man.
And so he wasn't off book. He kept reading off and we're like, okay, let's try it this way. Okay, thanks. And after he left, we were all just like...
Oh, I was so bummed. Your little balloon has no more air. You're just like, fuck. It's like meeting your heroes. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why is that? Why is that, Haley?
No, nothing. All of the heroes that I've met have been lovely people.
Of course.
No, but
What were you saying, Jordan?
They're people.
No, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Don't meet your
Most of mine are dead, so it's great.
I know, right? Exactly. I'm like Janis Joplin. That's fine.
It's all good. I'm sure they were great. Yeah. I'm gonna believe that for the rest of my life.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Okay, listeners, imagine this. You're stuck on the 405 freeway. It's 5 p.m. Traffic is bumper to bumper, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I wish someone could read me The Hobbit, unabridged by J.R.R. Tolkien. And guess what? Now you can. All you have to do is visit www.audibletrial.com/ActorsAnonymousPodcast, and you can get a free 30-day trial of audible.com plus a free audiobook download. How amazing is that? All you got to do is go to that site, www.audibletrial.com/ActorsAnonymousPodcast, and then boom, you can download it to your MP3 player, your iPhone, your Android, or even your Kindle.
There's no way it could possibly be as good.
Okay.
No, it's the one before the finale is always best.
Spoiler alert for Game of Thrones people. This is season 5, episode 9.
Season 6, episode 9.
Season 6, episode 9.
Hour.
God, right?
Get out of here!
We're watering all your electronics.
You crazy woman! You crazy woman! Holy shit.
Battle of the Bastards.
I have never, as you know, I love martial arts and battles and like that kind of stuff. That is number one for me.
Yeah.
Best battle scene of all time.
Best
that was
hour
incredible.
of television for me that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. You forget that it's TV.
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
was
oh, wait.
so good.
God.
Everything was so above above the level that it should. Like it was
Yeah.
just the acting, the writing,
Yeah, seriously.
and the like even actually the directing, because the director apparently called the producers and was like, we have a problem, and they were like, I think there's an issue with the script. We need to kind of add something, and we have this idea. The whole spoiler alert. Turn this off right now if you haven't seen it.
Never listen to this podcast again. What?
When he is when John is buried under people
Yes.
and like suffocating, not in the script. None of that is in the script.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
They added that
you
scene,
don't-
and I'm like, how did you not have that
Why am I
scene?
going to cry right now? Yeah. Why
Right?
am I emotional?
You don't. I like no.
I love it so much.
Are you feeling like crying too?
Yes.
I feel like fighting somebody.
We can do this right here, man.
Hey, are we gonna fight?
Are we gonna
Haley?
fight?
That's the picture for the end
I'm
of the
gonna go bring an
podcast.
army in for like after you guys are
Yes.
done, and
Guys,
There's already a
I just-
pile of bodies outside.
Right.
the realism. That's what I loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
When that epic shot of him like taking off the belt loop, and he just holds his sword, and that cavalry is charging
Mm-hmm. The
at him.
slow mo, yeah. get the
And
fuck out of
then
here.
his cavalry comes behind him, and you realize war is not pretty at all, and
No.
it's messy and it's confusing. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, he was the hero, but there were times where he didn't look like he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can't do anything, especially
But
when
he
he's
lets his emotions play himself
Absolutely.
into a corner.
That's a
Exactly.
character
The story
choice.
of his life.
Yeah, exactly. Which I will say, one of the things I just kind of realized this when we were talking. I think one of the reasons I love this episode so much is because it's the first time I think that we've seen every single character who's like one of the main characters in this episode are people that have surpassed their patriarch. Like they
Yeah.
have all of their parents are dead.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
are gone or whatever, and now all these people have now grown up from when we saw them as kids on the first season to like making these badass choices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
totally.
It was like all of it was
And then
just
you're like, Rickon, why are you running straight?
yeah, just like
Why are you running straight?
just tuck and roll, like just do a few like.
Just do a dance or
'Cause
something.
I feel like jazz hands might have been needed in that scene.
Can you imagine? That'd be incredible. Ahead of their time. When does this take place? Not here. Not today.
Can you imagine if you saw that whole scene where he's actually like purposely like
Yeah,
shifting
just-
to the left and the right, like tuck and roll?
Yeah,
and then, like,
but they're still like cornering him. They're like, the fuck? We're still going to get you.
yeah.
We're covered.
Ugh, no.
Yeah,
everything
no, it was
about that.
incredible.
the redheaded guy. What's his name?
I
You know what I'm talking about.
know exactly what you're talking about.
The wildling.
Whenever
I can't remember.
All I can think
he's
is
getting
Brandon
his
Tarth.
head smashed by the guy, and finally he just goes in and bites his jugular,
Oh, yeah.
and he
And
pulls
then
out
you
his knife
see
and
it.
steps. I
Amazing.
I
loved it.
remember like at that point I didn't even realize it. I was like holding my chair in the weirdest way, and I probably looked like a crazy person. I was like,
Everyone's just like watching you instead of
Yeah.
the show. They're just like,
my brother is in the living room watching season 1 of Game of Thrones
for the first time?
for the first time. He's a child.
He's 4 years old. Yeah. He's
4 years
still
old.
watching it.
No,
you gotta,
He's
gotta,
fine. Yeah.
But the part where Jon Snow is punching the piece of shit in the face
Yes.
towards the end.
Oh, yes.
That's what his name is for me. Piece of shit.
No, it's great. He deserves
he
no
becomes
other name.
dog shit.
He becomes-
dog
Oh,
shit.
it's amazing. And they go for the face first.
Oh,
and I'm
right.
like, fuck you.
You know, I have to like the other
They
thing too.
shot that, the
Yeah.
punching for 6 to 10 hours.
6 to 10 hours. That one scene.
That one scene, they had him just swinging.
Oh my god.
Well,
And Sansa's just like, no, go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Because that's not my
I'll wait.
kill.
I will wait.
Yeah. Again.
my brother said, I heard you screaming, fucking kill him! Fucking kill him! And he was like, what is he
Really?
watching? I was like, when
Yeah.
art makes you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
fucking-
even know who did not like get up at one point, like the dragons.
No.
When the dragons start
Oh.
attacking, I'm like, they're doing it. They're doing it now. It's happening. Like,
I'm thinking like there are like thousands of people across the city doing the same thing at the same time. Just like,
I imagine
like people in the boats are like, yeah, they're gonna kill us, but yeah.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I just imagine some of the
Exactly.
soldiers like, oh shit, they got dragons?
Yeah,
Like,
fuck.
guys, we should just stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you? You should have just fucking given up.
But the other thing too is, like, I'm so engrossed in the story. I'm like disgustingly, sadly, I have no life. I'm just hanging out with them in my head.
That's disgusting.
No, but like Sansa's character, as far as like that, like Sophia Turner, like nails it. But at the
yeah,
same time, like
range for days.
she finally gets that revenge because she didn't get it with the other dude,
Right.
like Joffrey. Like
Yeah.
you just are so happy when she's just like, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna watch this, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I love how strong they're making all of the women.
Yeah.
It
I
is
think
like,
they're changing.
Why?
I think they're changing.
I don't know. I don't actually have thoughts. Just boobs.
Got it.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
show,
what the
ladies
show's
and
turning
gentlemen.
into. That show is totally directing into like females need
You guys
to
dubbed
rule
me
the
whole
world.
time.
I feel
Oh,
like that's the whole
totally.
thing
And I'm
about
just like,
it.
oh, it's shifting.
Yeah,
Future
right.
is female.
Just female?
Just female.
And that's
Just female.
Damn it, just female.
You'll be
kidding.
fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It's our turn.
Why did your voice get deeper?
In a world. I don't know. It isn't even like that deeper. It's just kind of like. "Brr." Actually, whenever I scream on camera, like if I'm like a damsel in distress, I don't have a very like high scream. Like you know those girls who can like screech. Mine's more like. It's more like guttural, and I've gotten like notes before. They're like, "Cut, Haley, can you just a little less manly?" And I'm like. Actually, no. Like, you can always dub me, but I can't. Like,
I get the opposite note.
oh, that's cute.
There it is.
Yeah. The condescension, or it's been here forever.
Wait, Sam, could you stop screaming like a girl for just one take? That'd be great.
No, I can't. I can't.
It's not in the script though.
Yeah. You're just.
I'm just
walking.
screaming.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm going through some stuff.
He's an artist.
Be in my trailer.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick lunch. You're gonna be okay.
He's a co-star. What the fuck's going on here?
He's a co-star. Why?
He's a featured extra.
Featured extra. I love that. Oh my gosh. My face is warm. I can't stop thinking about this Game of Thrones, guys.
I know. No, I haven't seen a battle scene like that gritty and spectacular really since like Saving Private Ryan. I was like, this is like, yeah,
Real.
so real and yeah, awesome.
I appreciate, and I'm going to get a little nerdy, but I love learning about battle tactics.
Yeah.
And how they were encroaching in on them. Reminded me of like Alexander the Great, the way he had his like phalanx groups made, and that is like the like those wildlings must have been just shitting in their pants too, like trying to fight that. There's
right.
not much you can do.
Yeah, right.
But I was okay. There are a couple things. You know him. What's the kid? He didn't tuck and roll, right?
Yeah,
There's
Rickon.
that made me upset. But also the giant. I'm like, dude,
I know.
Put a little more effort in there, dude.
Yeah, dude, you're a fucking giant.
they are
Yeah.
petrified
He's
of you.
slow. I know.
Yeah.
But he's so big. I don't know. I still love him.
I
still
know
love
you-
him.
I was just
died.
kind of like,
that was crushing.
hey Sansa,
I was like, Hodor, you're fine.
Maybe you could have given us a heads up about the army you're going to bring over because
Right?
we might have like changed, or maybe like waited 20 minutes.
But I
that
also
might have
kind
been
of
fine.
liked it. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Like, let him be scared for a little while and then come in.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're trying to justify it because he didn't ask for her opinion during
Yeah.
the battle, and he
Yeah.
like kind of disrespected her there.
And she was like, I will end your life.
She is a Stark of Winterfell.
She is Winterfell.
Wait, I don't think is Bran just going to come back and be like, all right, thanks. I'm going to take over now.
Yeah, oh my
It's just like,
God. Yes. As long as Brienne is there, I'll be fine.
look, I can see the future. I know what you're going to do.
Yeah. God damn. Red Bowman's like, I'm ruined.
I really hope that all of us in this room can, at least one point or at least one project be as good as that. Honestly,
Yeah, totally.
Like speechless. Like I had no words afterwards.
No. I'm
Like-
actually shocked I haven't rewatched it yet. I haven't had time.
Well, because
but I will.
I feel like sometimes TV can be like TV plots because of the fact that and a lot of that's changing now. But I feel like when you watch TV, you're kind of like, oh, they're gonna be fine. Like they're the star
They're
of the show. Where are they
fine.
gonna go? It's their
Yeah.
paycheck. They love it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everything about it. So you're not too worried when a main character is put in peril. But like
Right.
that show just kind of like you
Ratchets
don't
it up.
know.
You don't know.
But one of the things I love about it is you can still kind of predict what's gonna happen for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shows. And so, but the interesting part was I knew exactly what I wanted from every single storyline, especially like the battle. And then I was just like, but it's not going to happen. There's no way this is going to happen. And, like, you just literally lose all despair. And then
Yes.
and then they give you what you want.
You're like Jon Snow in the pile of bodies.
yeah, right?
Every
that's
minute.
why I was so scared for the
I'm going to
redhead
use
wild
that.
guy.
I'm going to describe everybody
Dude.
like that. You're like Jon Snow in a pile of bodies.
And you know what?
Just like-
People will get it.
Yeah.
They'll be like,
Exactly.
oh my God, I am.
That first shot where all the bodies were and they were fighting on
Yeah,
top of them,
dude.
that gave me chills.
Because that's
I
what
was
it would be. That's like what it is. Yeah.
the amount of blood is literally you're stepping in pools
Yeah.
up to your ankle in blood.
Yeah.
But totally something that you would expect from that character to come up with. like as Ramsey to like set that up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
Oh my
they
god, I'm
really
so
just
glad
made
he's
it.
gone.
How can you make a character
He should've
worse
died
than
longer.
Joffrey? I don't even know how they did that. Like, it
I
was
know,
just
but
like,
they
what?
did, yeah,
Yeah.
because Joffrey's a child, so there's like that part of you that's like, I mean, you don't excuse him because he's a child, but like Ramsey is a
It was
grown
just one
man.
hooker that he killed.
Yeah,
It's fine.
He's fine. Yeah, no, but the fact that he's like an adult male, like making like decisions, knowing the
Yeah.
consequences, is I think what makes him worse. Oh, he's such a piece of shit.
Right. And he's such a good actor too. Like
my God, I
he's
love
so
him
good
so-
in so many
Oh
other
my
things.
God.
Misfits.
Yeah,
He's so
right.
good in that.
He is. He's so good.
I love the what is that sketch they did where the cast meets from Game of Thrones and they're all hanging out and then
Oh yeah, and they like they had
The
that one
Coldplay skit?
moment.
I didn't see this.
so you got to check this out. You got to
Okay.
Google it. It's yeah,
They
so,
meet Coldplay.
yeah, they're like
Goldplay.
Like
They
the
make a
whole
music-
bunch of people from the cast go to hang out and like sing.
Oh, okay.
And there's a moment where he looks up, like Ramsey, the guy who plays Ramsey looks up at Alfie Allen, and like as he enters the room, and they're like,
Yes. Ah, fuck.
and then they're just it's really like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's done so well. Like they are such good actors because
Yeah, it's
you
so
see
good.
it in their
I feel
eyes.
so bad for
and
Alfie
then-
Allen. Yeah, just walking
Oh,
around like
yeah.
everyone hating you, and he's like, I just want to be a philosophy student.
I want my dick back. Yeah, please, somebody.
I'm a man. I deserve a penis.
Cut. Can you not? Can you do it without the southern accent?
No.
That's like,
No,
I love that
fucking
line
quoting.
with Danny where she's like, and there's not going to be any pilgrimage. There'll be no raping. And they're
Yeah.
like, but that's all we know.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Female
nah.
Bolton chick is like, wait,
yeah.
what? I don't understand.
Raping.
Yeah. Which is also a great
scene.
scene.
Yeah. Like, it's so funny when you're watching that scene. You're just like, just do it.
Just fucking
do
kiss.
it.
Just get in there.
So wait, do you think they're gonna stay true to that?
True to what?
To the pack that she made?
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right.
She's crushing hard.
What does she
Like,
get
real
with
hard.
this pact? I forgot.
I don't know.
The Salton Sea lands, like whatever, where their uncle was gonna kill them.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna build 1,000 ships.
no.
Yeah, like maybe like a season. Like, good luck.
Jordan, can we superimpose your
literally-
face?
yeah,
Like, or
seriously.
like just you into certain scenes?
Looking at my
Yeah,
arm
just-
that doesn't have a watch on it.
Yeah.
sundial?
Guys. Fuck. A sundial.
Oh man, I think this is the most on the show we've talked about one scene consecutively. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
But it's such a good scene to talk about.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I just love that, like how the bar just keeps getting raised.
He better win the director of that
Yeah,
episode.
oh, he-
what?
Oh,
He directed some other episode.
Emmy
that was so
contender
good.
for sure.
Yeah.
There has to be because the choreography for that battle alone,
Yeah, it was
dude.
amazing.
Dude,
Yeah. Even the makeup. The cake when he turns around, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's John." I didn't realize. It's just
No,
he's like
just, like,
covered in
freckled
mud
with
and
mud.
everything.
And he's still pretty.
it could be
Yeah,
feces.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Kit Harington, get out of town. Although without a beard, not so much.
I would let you murder me so I could have your respect.
Just do it. Just do it. The number of times I've said that, I swear to God, if I had a nickel.
I don't want to make out with you. You can just chop my
Just
head off. It's
murder
cool.
me.
It's
Yeah,
cool.
go all the way. Do a 10 for once in your life. Backhand him.
I just imagine he's signing autographs and you're just yelling this at him and he's like,
Kill me.
Oh my God.
kill him. And then you backhand him. And
Yeah, he's just like,
Crazy woman.
but still signing autographs like nothing happens. So used to it. People do it all the time.
You know nothing.
Yeah. You know nothing. Nothing. The fuck?
Oh shit.
Oh, Kit Harington.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Well,
Very good.
we've got a little bit of time left.
More
So
Game of Thrones, or? I'm here.
I think we should just start watching it until
I
time
know,
runs out.
Seriously. Just,
side note, HBO Go's website crashed because so many people were watching it.
really?
Oh wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
way to go.
Right.
Fuck. Also, way to like stay in the game, HBO, with all of these new platforms, like,
Yeah.
and the way TV is going, and like,
Oh yeah.
they're still fucking killing it.
I'm shocked I watched it 24 hours later and did not get any spoilers. I don't know how that happened. And I work in a
Nice.
very like
Spoilery environment.
pop culture news like place where we
you
like
work for
report-
BuzzFeed?
No.
I didn't know
no.
how you were going to react to that. Like,
It's like
I don't know you
they're
well
like
enough yet.
kind of rivals, but not. I work with
Oh.
Discovery. We have like we were with it's no big deal.
Whatever. Anyway.
It's not important.
Yeah. Cool story, huh?
You can't talk about it.
What?
You can't talk
No,
about
no,
it?
I can talk about it. We work for SourceFed, but it's and like the Philip DeFranco show, but we're just like pop culture news, and we do sketches, but they think we're like. Oh, they lash out at us sometimes. And we're like, but we don't really.
BuzzFeed does?
Yeah, not like intent. It's not like at us, but it's like
Like other sources
Sometimes
say.
it's really weird. I'm like,
Is there
you put that video
infighting?
up because we have a video very similar.
Yes.
to
Well, at least you're on Gawker, so that's fine.
Gawker, yeah.
I'm glad they went fucking bankrupt.
I mean, yeah.
What a horrible. Like, you steal people's personal videos and then you upload them, and you don't
Well,
think
then you
that's
call
wrong.
it journalism. That's my
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not.
And by the
Don't.
way, for
Come
his
on.
personal wedding,
Yeah.
he asked people not. He didn't let people bring their cell phones in because he didn't want anybody taping it.
Well,
You like that? That got me because he's like, it's personal.
great. Now Hulk Hogan's getting it. Guys, the world is just going to shit.
We need a good.
If Hulk Hogan can't have cell phones at his wedding, who are we as a
People were
people?
taking selfies at Nelson Mandela's funeral.
Oh my God, that's right.
Did you hear?
I
Do you know the
can't go
translator?
down this
Hogan?
rabbit hole. I will
Yes.
cry. I will literally cry for all of humanity. It'll be
what?
ugly.
What was it? They hired a translator at that,
RIP.
like
Oh.
the deaf translator,
And someone-
who did not know sign language.
Right.
He was just doing stuff with his fingers.
Yeah.
I know it's horrible. I was like,
No, but that's incredible. I think they made like a small documentary on that guy. Like someone should if they haven't.
I
you
feel like
imagine,
that's
like,
like
the people
took that idea
a in
small.
living color Jim Carrey kind of
Yes,
character that
yes,
just like
just
shows
like-
up. You like
Oh my
background.
God, barrettes in his hair.
that's so horrible.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He's fine.
Well, to wrap up today's episode, I usually do this at the beginning, but I thought I'd do it at the end, and it's just this.
I don't know what that says about me, but I'll take
No,
it.
it's special. It's special.
Okay.
My parents, when I first moved to LA, I graduated college and then I immediately moved out here. My mom got me this like inspirational book to kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, propel me forward and positive.
Oh, the
things.
places you'll go.
Yes. Oh yeah, stuff like that. It's like one of those books. And you know, when I first read it, I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom. This is cool." But and I didn't think too much of it. But now looking back on it, I was like getting emotional reading it, and I'm like, "This was like 7 years ago now, and like I've gone so far."
Little do we know he can't actually read either. Yeah. He's just making this up.
The pictures are so pretty.
So
It's like the poop book. Anyway, good.
it is the poop book.
Yes!
Everybody
The
poops.
gas we
The
pass.
metaphors. The
Yeah.
metaphors.
The metaphors. We all produce shit, children. It's living with it.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Get in the van.
Get in the van.
Get in the van. I feel like that's going to be a slogan for a movie.
Oh God, I really hope not. I really hope not. Sorry. Anyway.
No.
I don't even know why I said get in the van. And now, anyway, you can delete that part.
We're live.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. But we're keeping it.
Damn it!
Okay, so here's the quote from the book. As you journey through life, choose your destination well, but do not hurry there. You will arrive soon enough. Wander the back roads and forgotten paths, keeping your destination in your heart like the fixed point of a compass. Seek out new voices, strange sights, and ideas. Such things are riches for the soul. And if upon arrival you find that your destination is not exactly as you had dreamed, do not be disappointed. Think of all you would have missed but for the journey there, and know that the true worth of your travels lies not in where you come to be at journey's end, but in who you come to be along the way.
Aw,
Yeah.
way to go, Mom.
Hashtag
Right?
Starks of Winterfell.
Hashtag Sansa 2016.
Hashtag Sansa.
2016.
I mean, look,
yeah,
I mean,
let's do it.
look, we talked
do
about
it.
Game of Thrones. You've been here for 15 years.
Yeah,
How much have you changed as a person?
not at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, no, a lot. Actually, it is interesting because I was thinking about stuff along those lines recently of like, when I first started, like, where did I think I was going to be when I was 30? And it does look very different than what it looks now. I'm not upset with where I am at all, but it is different. That is something to contend with. And what I sort of came to was, you know, it is the journey, not to be like, it's the journey, not the destination. But at the same time, I am really proud of myself. Like, I'm really proud of the work that I've done, I have actually accomplished things that I've wanted to accomplish. They might not look like how I wanted them to, and sometimes that's out of your hands. But I have learned so much, and I'm actually so thankful that I'm able to learn so much about myself. That sounds a little selfish, but in the broader scope of being able to help others, I don't know that a lot of people get to do that, get to have the time and have the challenges to forge you, because I really do believe that like shit is forged in a fire. To go back to shit, no, but like good things are often forged through pressure and fire and challenges. And again, like I was saying before, like I'm very up and down. Like I'll totally admit that. I'm a very emotional person. But what I do is I allow myself, and I'll give myself like you get 10 minutes to be upset about this, and then you move on. And I've been doing that for 15 years, and it's helped a lot. And sometimes it's harder, and if it is, I allow it to be what it is. But yeah, I wouldn't have learned like, a lot of the shit I know about myself now, and a lot of the stuff that I know about the industry and about like life in general and about acting itself. Like I'm so grateful that the lessons that I've learned as a human just on this path are now able to translate themselves into my acting. Because I'm like, oh, you bring certain stuff, just as a human, like whatever it is, your thing is, that gets kind of beaten out of you. So yeah, no, I was actually thinking about that very recently when I had that shitty audition, and I was like, what am I doing with my life?
It's
Why
the
am I doing
ultimate,
this?
like this industry is like the ultimate freelancing. Like it's like you literally have to like do everything. But I think that's part of it is I think when because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to be Brangelina and I'm going to be awesome. And it's like you need to take pride in every step you take because every single step is a success.
Yeah.
Like if you're working, you should be very happy because acting is probably one of the most competitive fields.
With
I
the
think.
least amount of road. There's no path. It's not like, I could go into one room, they think I'm the most brilliant actress. I can go into the next room and they're like, she's the worst.
Yeah.
Or it comes down to like little like things completely out of your control.
Resume is like total second nature to like what you can. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's
just
not
really,
like, you work like in the mailroom for a year and then you get promoted. Like there's no set path at all. You just are hopefully really true to yourself and really have more of a reason to be here. Because it is funny, even like my age now, and I see people who are coming here in their like late teens or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my God, like you have no idea. It's all so, and it is a glamorous kind of thing. Like there are parts of it that are really fun. But I do think if that is your goal, that just fizzles out so fast.
Well, I'd like to branch off with what you're saying, like be true to yourself with two things. First off, be honest with yourself. Even if you're not honest with other people, that's fine. Be honest with yourself.
Right.
If you know you're lying to yourself, and sometimes we lie to ourselves so much that we start believing it, and it's blinded us completely to really what's going on. And that might be scary and it might hurt sometimes, but I think it's very important for you to do, especially if you're an artist, especially if you're an actor. You can't lie to yourself.
No.
The second thing is, yes, be true to yourself, but also improve yourself too. Otherwise,
Totally.
you plateau.
And what's the point? Again, like it kind of goes back to like, why are you an actor then? Like, why are you an actor? And everybody has different reasons, and I'm not saying one is bad and one is good. But if you're not also improving yourself, like I think that's so vital to what I do. Because I do want to show people things about themselves or about other people that they might not have thought of. And if I'm rusty or if I'm not being honest with myself or not, improving myself, like what's the point? Why am I doing it?
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
Because that's something that reiterates in my head now more than ever. It's like, hey, our last episode, quality in action. How present are you? How much are you putting into this one moment? Because when the end of the day happens, it's like, hey, I fucking gave it 120%. 20%.
Yeah, no matter how it looks.
Yeah, it's
no matter
like-
if you're successful, no
No.
matter if it's like, a good scene. What the fuck does that even mean?
Absolutely. And it's like, okay, what can I improve on for next time? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then let's do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'll get my rest tonight. I'll wake up, positive attitude. Let's go
Totally.
at it tomorrow. But being realistic, so crucial. Jordan?
I want to ask because you were like with your list of films and stuff like that, or the projects that you've been on. Like it seems like some of them must have been like incredibly fun to be on.
Oh,
like with like
yes.
Final Destination, Teen Wolf. Like
Yeah.
what's like your most taxing, but like is there anything that like you had to do that was like so much involved, but like you absolutely had a blast doing it?
Yeah, I mean, Final Destination was so fun. It was 3 months in New Orleans and a lot of special effects, a lot of like that green screen, and that was a lot, but also bigger budget. So it was sort of padded. Like you got off at a certain time, and like lunch was like a huge spread. So like, you know what, you're fine, no matter how hard the day is. But I will say, like Teen Wolf, I did 9 episodes of that and was in prosthetics for the last 3 episodes. And there were days where I would get in makeup and then they wouldn't need me. Like I'd be in my trailer for like 10 hours and they'd be like, "Oh, we're fine." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm just going to take this off myself." I don't know. I did Sugar Mountain, which is the movie I did in 2014. I shot that in Alaska. I cut off all my hair for it. I mean, I'm not bald, but like I've had my hair a certain way for so long, and then I got bangs and like cut it really short. That was the most emotionally taxing and a really difficult character to play for reasons involving the story. There were certain things that I could reveal in certain moments and stuff that I couldn't. So it was taxing, actually. At the end of the day, I felt really exhausted. Like, why am I so tired? But because there's this mental thing that's happening. And you shoot out of sequence, so like you're not on the full journey. You have to like go back and forth.
That's fucking taxing, by the way.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like,
Yeah.
even for like seasoned
You have to
actors.
remember, and sometimes like the director won't remember. So they're like, "Oh shit!" But wait, if we've already revealed that in like 2 scenes ago, which we shot already, like
You have to be on your shit so well.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you really do. And it's fun. It's like a fun challenge. Like I like
Yeah.
that. So like the physical stuff, I really like. The Teen Wolf was amazing. It was such a special experience. Like it was so cool. Because the first half, I'm like very meek and like, "What? Little old me," and then I'm like, "I'm here for revenge." But and TV hours are so much longer. Like film, it's like 12 hours because I don't really want to do overtime, especially on indie films, which is like my main steez. But yeah, I think Sugar Mountain in terms of the but so satisfying, like the most creatively satisfying, beautiful experience. Like I left the plane just being like, "Oh, I left a part of myself in Alaska." Okay. Like, I don't really need that anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I would say.
Haley, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes.
Seriously,
Thank
absolute
you for
pleasure having
me.
you on.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
are a treat and a half.
Yes. Where's the other half of the second one?
It's with Jordan.
It's in Alaska.
Oh my God. Yes, Jordan. Yes. Well, good night.
If people want to find you on Twitter, where can they check you out?
The Haley Webb.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real thing.
The Haley Webb.
The Haley Webb.
Thanks again.
Yes. Thank you.
Jordan, what's up, man?
I'm busy. I'm on a podcast right now.
Oh, okay, cool. If people want to find you on the Twitter,
Jordan Burbank 7.
awesome. Nikki, where can people find you on the Twitter?
Come on. You can.
At Nikki592. You had a mic.
You have
turned
a
on.
mic. Just push a button.
Oh, it's not
Oh.
working. Oh.
Oh, no. You don't
It's
mind.
not plugged in. Why did I do that? Stuff and things.
What does this do?
Guys, silly. Thank you, Nikki. And check out our new news source channel.
You want to try that?
Please.
Check out Actors Anonymous News. It's a new show that we just started up. It's got the latest and greatest in what's happening in Hollywood for actors and in entertainment industry in general. So, starring our very own Nicole Boucher.
Yeah.
So
She
check
does
it
a
out
killer
on
job.
Facebook and on YouTube.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Gabe at GVB Studios. You guys are awesome over here. Gabe, I know you can hear me.
We love you.
Love you.
Dad?
We love you.
Gabe?
We're looking up at the
Gabe?
ceiling.
Yeah. Gabe?
Gabe?
I just get beamed up.
Hey, thanks to our listeners. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit us up with questions whenever. Literally, we respond to everybody.
Call me.
Nice. Oh my god.
Just
Call me too.
whenever. I'll talk to you.
Haley's phone number is...
It's 555-1234.
And always remember to listen, think, and then talk.
Yes.
And a big thanks to Audible.com for sponsoring the show today. Remember to visit audibletrial.com/Actors Anonymous podcast, and you get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial. Check it out.